Howdy, folks, and welcome back to RWBY Reaction. This is not a Rookie Reacts to RWBY, because Rookie's not here. Michelle has been just so busy and so exhausted. Usually when finally has time to record, which is usually late in the week, and she's so distracted with her work that she's just decided, she needs to take a break. So she didn't want to, sacrifice these coming out. Didn't want to give you guys less than, a perfect reaction. So. She's opted to stay out for a while. She may come back. Depends on her schedule and so forth. But for now, I'm going to be reacting solo to these. We'll see what happens. We are up to Volume 8, Chapter 7, War. I mean, I thought they were already at war, but I guess we'll find out. Wow, it's actually been a while since I saw the last episode. I don't know exactly what happened. I guess we'll find out. I mean, I know that ongoing we have Salem, with Oscar and the crew. Cinder was just punished. Last episode was really the Cinder backstory episode, wasn't it? Okay. So we got a little bit of story progress, but mostly it was a lot of Cinder stuff. Yeah, Mercury's got now reporting to Cinder, apparently. Or Cinder, I'm sorry, Salem, apparently. And Cinder's been punished, but that interesting little bit she had with that flashback to her stepmother shocking her with her shock collar while Salem was causing the Grim arm to give her such intense pain just leads me to believe that she's going to rebel against Salem. And of course, that's probably not going to go well for her unless it's a case of rebelling by just fleeing and of not doing what she wants as opposed to trying to fight her. If she tries to fight Salem, she's going to die. But she could rebel in other ways. Is this a redemption thing for Cinder? At first, I was going to say I don't see how that could ever work, but wouldn't that be incredible storytelling? I mean, Cinder is a very interesting character, and I'm not a fan of Cinder in that sense. I'm not like she's not like a character I like root for or anything. Neo is more like that, but it would make incredible storytelling, wouldn't it? For her to have to deal with the realization that she's gone down the wrong path. The rest of the team, if she ever tries to join with them or ally with them, Jean would have a very hard time, incredibly hard time accepting any sort of redemption from Cinder, unless it was a case of Cinder sacrificing herself or and even then probably wouldn't, or defending or saving Jean's life or something. But even then, he'd probably have a hard time with that. So I wonder if they're going to go that route, if they're going to have her ally with, I'll say, the good guys, although the good guys and bad guys is kind of muddy right now. Well, Salem is bad. Okay, we know that. Ally with the side opposed to Salem. Let's put it that way. That would make some very interesting storytelling. I wonder if they're going to go that route, or if it's just going to be a case of, if she does rebel, it's going to be a case of her just running away and not, not doing what Salem wants. Either one could potentially be interesting, but even though I don't want her to redeem herself because of what she did to Pyrrha, I kind of think it would be really good storytelling. I think it'd be great drama. Part of me wants it. Am I weird? Anyway, let's start watching. This bit right here, I'm very curious about, because we know that the intro tends to, while it doesn't necessarily give away scenes, it tends to give away sort of a sense of things that happen in the show. And there's this scene of RWBY falling away from the artifact or relic. I always flip between the two. Whatever. The staff in this case. I think it's the staff. But this Grim is grabbing her and pulling her down. And does that actually happen? I don't mean literally she's falling from the staff and Grim are taking her. What I mean is there going to be a situation where she is... My theory in the beginning was that she's going to be captured by Salem. I'm still wondering if that's going to happen. And if Salem won't kill her or gouge her eyes out, but will immobilize her in another way. And my theory has always been that her mother is still alive. So anyway, I'm just curious if that's going to happen still. Wow, I didn't know that they had farmland up there in Atlas. I literally thought that this was down outside Mantle or something, or in some other part of the world of Remnant. Didn't even occur to me that they do their own farming up top. I mean, we always got kind of the impression that Atlas was just a big city, right? Filled with businessmen, rich people, people who worked for the businessmen of the rich people. But there's farmers up there. Very interesting. I did not expect that. But I guess that explains why when we saw the whale land, there was a huge section that didn't have buildings on it. This is very Star Wars-esque. Oh, no. They're coming out. No. No. Oh, every Grimm we've ever seen. Including the, are those the mammoths or the elephants that we saw from Volume 2?
But, sir.
Now!
Okay, that's got to be something big.
Citizens of...
I just realized something. This with the high-tech city and the fighters coming in and the kind of alien creature-looking things. Is this a little Genlock to you guys? It just kind of reminded me a little bit. I just had a vision of Genlock there with those fighters swooping in. You know, the scene where the fighters swoop in after the Grimm come down. I had a vision of Genlock here. I'm just wondering if anybody else had that flash. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I had a vision of it. It reminded me of it.
Inside, it could be vulnerable. Science team is putting together a bomb under new coordinates now.
And this, you have a bomb to attack it from the inside and deliver it on foot. It is reminding me a little of The Mandalorian earlier this season with the Kate Dragon. So,
On foot.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say RWBY's just copying things. Every story has bits that remind you of every other story. That's all I'm saying. It's just it's cool. I like it. It reminds me of things, and I'm not, I'm absolutely not saying it was done because The Mandalorian did it. I'm pretty sure they wrote this before they would have seen The Mandalorian anyway. So I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong, please. No hate in the comments.
But Oscar's in.
Oh, how cool. She's like orchestrating this. She's a conductor. Emerald, what are you doing? We always thought that Emerald was going to be the one who would turn and have the redemption arc. And she may still. But like I said, I'm getting this weird feeling that Cinder's going to do it too. And maybe Cinder and Emerald will do it together. Is this going to be Emerald's big turn?
Stunt you pulled. Enemies.
She's going to end the world, dude.
Came for me. I killed her over and over again.
That's interesting news. Hazel was actually able to kill Salem? Was it a case of Salem letting him kill her? Because, I mean, with her magic, she could have easily just stopped him or killed him instantly. So that's kind of strange. But it is cool to know that he actually took his anger out on her, I guess, and ripped her apart a few times. Over and over, I guess, or multiple times. Aww. Please don't hurt Nora. I mean, she's already hurt, but come on, Nora. I like how Weiss is tending to her.
Penny launched Amity, and our message went out.
Did their message fully go out? I got the impression that only part of it went out. The part where RWBY was being awkward and introducing herself and then starting to tell everybody. I thought only part of it went out.
Do we just...
Wouldn't everybody be even more confused for just the part they got? They'd be like, okay. Yeah, I'm remembering that scene. Again, not comparing. Stop it. I'm remembering that scene from Avengers where Thor tells Loki to listen carefully, and then Iron Man comes by and knocks Thor away, and Loki's like, I'm listening. Everybody is on the other end of the reception of the transmission going, okay, we're ready. Where's the rest of it? What's going on?
Mantle needed me. And to the marigolds.
She's a marigold? Was that her brother that tried to hit on Weiss in Volume 4? She's a marigold. Interesting. Did I know that? I probably already knew that. And I'm just dense. Yeah, you can attack me in the comments for that. I'm pretty dense.
Son war. And I made sure that everyone knew that I wasn't their daughter.
Oh, cool. Just dawned on me. They're turning this character into trans female just like Caden. That's awesome. It's cool. They've got Henry. She is Henry's sister. That's cool. Henry was the one, I think, that, if I'm not mistaken, that was hitting on Weiss, right? I'm probably wrong there, too. But I'm pretty sure it was Henry Marigold.
Got Henry.
It's interesting, RWBY. Take that. There are no sides. The only way we're going to get together, together is the only way we're going to, and together is the only way we're going to get out of this. Someday I'll be able to say it. Yet, Ironwood's the enemy? I thought you were all against Salem. Take your own advice, RWBY.
The only way we're going to.
Is this going to be their way? Because I've been wondering how they could possibly get out of this. Salem is there. She's unstoppable. She's going to keep going until she gets what she wants. She's going to destroy whoever stands in her way. There's no way for them to win. That's what I've been thinking. But then they just established in this episode that Hazel has been able to kill her, and she's been gone for sometimes up to hours. Is that going to be their way? They turn Hazel? Ozma/Ozpin/Oscar gets through to Hazel, and he believes, finally, in the truth of the matter? It's funny. Oscar, Ozma, Ozpin actually telling... Well, Oscar's always has, but Ozma telling the truth. But you know what I mean. Is he going to turn and actually fight her and defeat her? Momentarily. I mean, sure. Defeat her temporarily. Enough so that they can make their escape or do whatever they need to do. And when she comes back, by the way, I think she reforms herself right there, right? Because we saw in the flashbacks in Volume 6 that the fight between Ozma and Salem that ended in Ozma dying to start the cycle. He was crawling away from their battle, and then she just kind of like glooped together from black goop, formed her again, and then she came over and killed him. So does she just come back where she was? Because I was curious, if she comes back somewhere randomly in the world, that would be great and convenient. Not so much for where she appears, but the people there. But it would be convenient for them here to deal with her attack. But even if she is gone for just a little while and comes back here, I'm thinking that this is kind of be their out, is Hazel. Are all of the people that are currently on Salem's team going to turn by the end of this volume?
It was never to trust you.
Please.
No, it's not working so far.
But Oscar.
You're just going to give Salem the password?
No. I'm giving you the password.
Yeah, it's true. The lamp tells the truth. He's letting Hazel learn the truth.
After what
But Emerald heard the password too? Is that what we're just about to believe here? She actually heard the password as well? And she came to tell Mercury?
just told you.
You told me yourself.
She didn't. I don't think she heard the password. I think she just heard his story about Salem's goals.
Hazel tried. You and I have a date with the desert.
Vacuo, date with the desert. They're heading to Vacuo. There goes the setup for next volume.
We care about him.
That's something Winter understands. This is going to appeal to Winter because, unlike the Aesops, she is in touch with her emotions, and she does care about people, and it matters to her.
Matters.
She puts up a shield that it doesn't, but it does. Oh, wow! Level up on Ren! I'm going to make a guess before I go further, but level up is that his semblance has to do with masking emotions. He can actually visualize people's emotions. Wow, he's turned into Deanna Troi from Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm just kidding. Very cool. That's the petals. Oh no, and he's looking at his own feet and he sees the pink petals from the intro. Very cool new power Ren's got. Oh, she's so conflicted. If I can read this right after just a few seconds, all the different colors mean massive different emotions. Would this be... Who's in a hat like that? Guesses. Oh! Is it the butler? Did the butler come back?
Klein!
Yep, it is.
Miss Schnee, I'm so glad that you rang.
Oh, Whitley did it.
Patient, I understand.
All right for Whitley. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that Shitley is having a bit of a redemption arc, but I think it's touching. I think it's touching, considering the setup from last volume when their mother said to Weiss, "You left him with us," meaning what else did you expect him to become? You left him with Jacques, and I don't, I'm a drunk, and Jacques is an evil bastard. What did you expect him to become? But he's really a good person because we know that Winter and Weiss are good people. Why wouldn't Whitley? I mean, it's not true that, obviously, that every sibling is either good or bad or share the same personality traits or anything like that, but it makes sense, right? That he would have a good within him that was just being squashed by his father. So I'm glad to see this. This is touching to me, especially the hug from Weiss. That was really moving. I love that.
Anyone else?
Okay, who would this be? Oh no! That's where she fell to. Oh no. So that's where Penny fell to. Wow, I thought it would have been... I didn't know that this was... I know that this volume was supposed to be over the course of 48 hours in the story. But I didn't think that... I thought each episode would be sequential. Consecutive? No. What I'm looking for. Sequential. I didn't think there would be any crossover on the timelines. But there's a crossover here. She fell at the end of 2 episodes ago. And then she finally hit the ground here. So the stuff with last episode with Cinder, up with Salem up there, and Winter finding Jean and those guys, and then the beginning of this episode all took place during that battle. Timing still doesn't work because Weiss had that thing where she said the message went out. I think it was Weiss. It might have been Blake, but I think it was Weiss. Where she said the message went out. A lot of time passed between her saying that. So you got to presume the message went out and was interrupted before she had that speech, because there was part of that scene before where there was no message being played. So several minutes at least had gone by since the message ended, was cut off. And then a lot of time has gone by since she said that. So Penny must have been, if somebody's going to need to do the math, Penny was probably falling for like an hour. It doesn't make any sense. But it definitely wasn't, it didn't seem like it lined up right. Like Penny would have been falling for a very, very long time. I probably, okay, just one vary. I don't have to do as many varies as I did. Penny would have been falling for a while for this to line up properly. But it also looks like she might have just expired. And that, yeah, all the green, you can call it blood if you want, but it's her, I guess, hydraulic fluids, her fluids, are all over the place. If she did just expire with the I'm sorry, that sets up the whole sad Pietro story that I talked about before, where clearly Pietro's going to try to bring her back again, and it's going to kill him. And that's horrible. Now, Winter said they couldn't find Penny, so it's good that Penny's here, even though she's probably passed. And Ruby's going to have to deal with that again. Oh boy, Ruby's going to have to deal with that again. But Ruby was there when Pietro explained how it works, so maybe she won't take it as badly, knowing that she can come back, but she'll also probably make the connection that it'll kill Pietro. But what it really means is that the maiden powers, oh my God! She's in the she just looked at Ruby and said, I'm sorry. If Robot Penny And the depletion of her aura, which is what happened the first time, or what will happen this time probably, triggers the transfer of the maiden powers. Is it going to Ruby? Are we going to get a maiden transfer this volume of Penny to Ruby? Wow. And I wouldn't expect... And that would really explain, if that's the case, that would really explain how Ruby ends up getting captured by Salem. Right? She would need the powers. And it also explains why Ruby would be grasping at the staff, at the relic. Artifact, relic, artifact. Why she'd be grasping it? Oh my God, is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? Okay, that's my crazy theory then. I don't know how crazy it'll be because it actually sounds plausible, to me at least, that there might be a transfer of maiden powers right now to Ruby. Because she is the last person. If Penny is dying, for lack of a better word, and the maiden power transfers, the last young woman in her thoughts is Ruby. She's looking right at her. Wow. I want that to happen. I know some people would say they don't want it to happen, but I want it to happen. I want to see where that takes us, if that happens. And then Penny's going to come back again, just as a robot, just as a protector, still very powerful. But take Pietro sacrifice his life in the process, and what's that going to do to Penny? Oh, it's going to mess her up. Oh, some good drama here. Again, if Cinder joins the good guys, I shouldn't say it that way. She's never going to join the good guys, right? They're never going to take her. She's never going to be good. But if she allies with them, that's going to make some interesting drama, especially with people like Jean and Ren and Nora and Ruby. And Neo, for goodness sake. Neo wants to kill Ruby. And then, of course, Emerald looks very much like she's on the verge of going. And she might go with Cinder. And she's managed to, at the last minute, because of what Tyrion said, convinced Mercury that they are fighting on the side of a person who's going to kill everybody, including themselves. And we got so much in motion right now, because now Hazel has the passcode to the artifact and could theoretically trigger it and ask the question. And if he triggers it in the presence of Salem, and he said, Oscar told him there's only one more question to be asked. And honestly, I don't think, even though Salem really wants the password to ask questions, I guess the only question she wants to ask. Oh yeah, of course. The only question she wants to ask is, where did Ozpin hide the other relic? Probably, right? That's what she needs to know. That's what she can't figure out. But if he uses the question for that slows her down. And I think if he uses it in her presence, Jin is more powerful than her, right? Because Jin is a creation of the gods, kind of an aspect of the gods. And we saw that, well, Ozma Oscar didn't try to use any powers, I guess. But I wonder if she'd be powerless during whatever playback Jin provides for the question being asked. What question would Hazel ask if Hazel asks a question? My first thought was he would ask to see what happened to his sister, but he already believes in his mind what happened to her. Then he theoretically could ask the question of, what will Salem do if she gets all the relics, or something like that? Artifacts, relics. What will she do if she gets them all? Or, what are her plans, or things like that? Because Jin can't tell the future. She can't say what would happen. She can't show the future. But she can ask the question of, what are Salem's plans? Because that's something that Salem has set up already, right? And she can expose that, sure, easily enough. Or he could just ask the same question to verify what we saw already, which would save us, most of an episode where they get a download of the same story, or at least he does. I mean, Salem already knows it. That would save us most of that, and then he would be on board. But she would be very angry that she can't ask the question of where the missing one is. But we know that Hazel apparently has the ability to kill her, which again, if assuming Salem didn't allow Hazel to kill her those times, kind of like, yeah, go ahead, man, try it, please. I want to die. Or I think this will allow me to convince this guy to serve me, so I'll let him kill me because I know it won't do any good. If she didn't do that, if she was really fighting him, he must be very resilient to her power. Maybe in some way he is kind of immune to it. Maybe because he doesn't suffer any pain and he absorbs dust, which we know is the remnant of magic from the original time, from the original period. Maybe he can absorb her powers. Maybe her powers actually charge him up. Maybe that's how he was able to kill her. That's interesting. That might very well be true. I'm going over the board. But anyway, that's going to be very interesting. We've only got, a couple more episodes? We got a few more episodes, I think. We'll have to see what happens. This was a pretty cool episode. I would actually rate this one pretty high. I really enjoyed this one a lot. This is one of my favorites of the volume so far, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you thought. Please tell me there's no after credits on an actual episode in the middle of the season. There's not. Okay. By the way, the actors, just want to do a quick check. Did I pass by the actors? I did. After the executive producers. Yeah. And here we go. Oh, it's a long list this time. So any new names? Oh, Caden did a second voice. That's cool. Yeah, Caden did a second voice as one of the commanders. They were early in the beginning. Okay, I guess it was just the military chatter in the beginning. Okay, Matthew Cruz. Oh, actual father-daughter. It looks like Matthew and Alexia did the father and child. That's cool. Nothing unusual here so far. Looking down the list, I'm trying to be careful because I don't skip right over something. Yuri, Emerald, Tyrion, Marrow, yeah, Elm, Ren, Harriet, Klein is back, Whitney, and Penny. Okay, very cool. Anyway, like I said, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy this episode? I really did. I really enjoyed it a lot. And what do you think about all of my crazy theories and the way I see things going? Am I way off base, do you think? I mean, we'll find out, but I'm sure I'm off base on a lot of them because I usually am. But it's still fun to think about. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.